Imagine for a moment that the mysteries of your life, the struggles, the patterns that repeat, and even the secret whispers in your dreams are not random accidents of fate, but carefully woven messages. What if, right now, Thoth, the ancient Egyptian god of wisdom, writing, and the keeper of sacred knowledge, was reaching directly into your consciousness to awaken something hidden within you? This is not mere fantasy or superstition. Across civilizations and centuries, seekers of truth have testified that Thoth's teachings are timeless keys, designed to unlock the most hidden chambers of the human soul. And today, if you are watching this, it is because a message has reached you. Think about that. Why are you here at this very moment? Could it be coincidence? Or could it be that your soul has been guided here because something deep within you has called for answers? What I will share with you in this video is not common knowledge. These are echoes of an ancient wisdom tradition that has survived across millennia, transmitted through mystery schools, sacred texts, and initiations. And I promise you this, the final revelation, the last truth we will uncover, is the most powerful of all. It carries within it the potential to completely change the way you understand your life, your soul, and the universe itself. Before we go deeper, I want to invite you to join me on this journey in an active way. If this message already stirs something inside you, if you feel that quiet pull of curiosity or even a strange familiarity, then do not let it pass by. Subscribe to this channel, give this video a like, leave a comment, and share it with others. Because together we are going to unfold secrets that were once guarded within temples and pyramids, whispered only to initiates, and hidden from the unprepared. What we are about to uncover has the power to awaken, and you will want to walk every step of this path. Thoth has always been associated with the power of the word. In ancient Egypt, he was the one who brought writing to humanity, who recorded the judgment of souls in the afterlife, and who measured the universe itself. The Greeks equated him with Hermes Trismegistus, the thrice great sage whose teachings became the foundation of Hermetic philosophy. Imagine the scale of this, a wisdom so profound that it survived the fall of empires, the burning of libraries, the rise and fall of religions, and yet it continues to speak even now to you directly. And here is something important to understand. Thoth's teachings are never meant for the masses all at once. They appear only to those who are ready to hear them. That is why you may have noticed that this message seems unusually personal, as if it were tailored just for you. That is because, in a way, it is. Ancient texts, such as the Emerald Tablets, describe how Thoth encoded his wisdom in symbols, vibrations, and words of power, designed to awaken precisely at the right time in the right soul. If you are here, perhaps your time has come. Let us dive deeper into the first of Thoth's great messages, the reminder that the material world is only a shadow of a greater eternal reality. Think for a moment about your daily life, the routines, the stresses, the endless cycle of seeking and striving. Thoth calls us to pause and realize that what we see is only the surface. Behind it, there is an invisible architecture, a hidden order, a sacred geometry that sustains everything. Mystics through the ages have confirmed this. Pythagoras in Greece, the Gnostics of the early centuries, the alchemists of the Middle Ages, they all traced their roots back to this same current of wisdom that flowed from Thoth. Now let me ask you directly, have you ever felt, even for a fleeting moment, that your life is not random, that events, people, and even challenges seem to line up in ways that feel strangely intentional? Share that in the comments, because your experiences may be signs of this hidden order calling you to recognize it. The Egyptians believed that by aligning yourself with Ma'at, the principle of truth, balance, and cosmic harmony, you open the way to true wisdom. Thoth is the one who weighs the heart of the soul against the feather of Ma'at in the afterlife. But what few realize is that this is not only about what happens after death, it is about right now. Every thought you cultivate, every intention you form, every action you take is being measured in your inner temple. And the message from Thoth is clear. Awaken to your responsibility as a co-creator in this universe. This is only the beginning. Because hidden within his words are keys to unlock the secret of the mind, the mystery of the soul, and the path to immortality itself. Stay with me, because what comes next is even more profound, and the last revelation we will uncover together is the most powerful of all. Thoth's second message to humanity reaches beyond the veil of appearances. It is the reminder that thought itself is creative, that mind is the true architect of reality. Imagine this for a moment. What if every word you speak, every emotion you entertain, every silent thought you nurture is already shaping the fabric of your existence? This is not just poetic symbolism. Modern physics, in its exploration of quantum fields and the role of consciousness in observation, echoes what Thoth inscribed millennia ago, that the universe responds to the vibration of mind. The emerald tablets declare, "As above, so below, as within, so without." These words are not a metaphor, they are a formula. They reveal that the inner world of thought and the outer world of experience are mirrors. If your inner temple is chaotic, your outer world will reflect it. If your inner temple is aligned, balanced, and illuminated by higher truth, then life itself begins to respond in harmony. Can you feel how radical this is? The power of creation is not hidden in some faraway realm, but is already within you. Now, pause and reflect. How often do you allow your mind to be consumed by fear, doubt, or negativity? And what has that produced in your life? On the other hand, think of the moments when your vision was clear, your heart open, your intention pure. Did not doors mysteriously open? Did not events align in ways you could never have planned? These are not accidents. They are demonstrations of Thoth's principle, still alive and active. Share in the comments a time when you witnessed this power at work in your own life. You might inspire someone else who is listening to discover their own hidden creative force. Thoth, known as the master of sacred words, taught that language itself is a form of magic. Ancient priests and scribes did not see writing as mere communication, but as a way to imprint vibration into matter. Every glyph carved on the temple walls was more than art. It was an invocation, a seed of energy planted into the very stone. The spoken word carried resonance that shaped both mind and spirit. Is it any wonder that sacred chants, mantras, and prayers exist across every spiritual tradition? They all echo the Hermetic understanding that words are spells, and thought is power, clothed in sound. Modern thinkers like Carl Jung have confirmed what the ancients already knew, that symbols and archetypes have a direct influence on the human psyche, shaping behaviors, beliefs, and even destinies. Jung spoke of the collective unconscious, a vast sea of symbols and patterns shared by humanity. The Egyptians would have called this the hidden realm of Thoth, where eternal truths are stored, and where the mind of humanity drinks its inspiration. So ask yourself now, what words are you speaking into your life each day? What thoughts are you silently repeating in the privacy of your mind? Do they uplift you, guide you, and align you with truth, or do they weigh you down, chaining you to illusions? This is Thoth's challenge to us. He does not simply give wisdom, he demands responsibility. He insists that you recognize yourself as a creator, and that you begin to wield your words and thoughts as sacred instruments, not careless habits. Throughout history, initiates who entered the mystery schools of Egypt were trained to guard their speech and refine their minds. They were taught to fast not only from food, but from destructive thoughts. They learned silence before uttering truth, because every vibration carried consequence. In this discipline lay their power. And in this discipline lies your potential too. Imagine the transformation if, starting today, you became aware of every word, every thought, every intention. Imagine aligning them consciously with harmony, balance, and light. Your life would begin to shift, your relationships would change, opportunities would appear, and a sense of purpose would replace confusion. This is not a distant promise. It is the direct teaching of Thoth, waiting to be activated through your awareness. But remember this, Thoth's messages always come in layers, like concentric circles moving toward a hidden center. What I have shared so far is only the second veil. Behind it lies something even deeper, even more mysterious. The next revelation moves us from the creative power of thought into the eternal destiny of the soul itself. And what we will uncover there is one of the most guarded secrets of the ages. Thoth's third message is perhaps the most profound of all so far. The soul is eternal, and death is not the end but merely a passage. Imagine standing before the mighty pyramids of Egypt, their stones aligned with the stars, their chambers echoing with silence, yet built to last for thousands of years. They were not tombs, as many still believe, but cosmic temples, gateways meant to guide the soul through dimensions beyond the reach of the ordinary eye. And at the heart of these mysteries was the teaching of Thoth, that you are not a body that happens to have a soul, but a soul temporarily walking in a body. Think about this for a moment. How differently would you live if you truly knew you were eternal? How would your fears change, your ambitions, your sense of purpose? Most people live in denial of death, clinging to illusions of permanence in material things. Thoth's wisdom tears away this veil and shows us that life is a brief initiation, a preparation for a greater journey that stretches beyond time itself. The Emerald Tablets describe how Thoth himself overcame the cycle of birth and death. He speaks of traveling to other realms, of walking among the stars, of dwelling in hidden places of earth until the appointed time of return. These are not fanciful tales. They are archetypal revelations meant to awaken us to the true destiny of the soul. To the uninitiated, they sound like myth. To the awakened, they are reminders of forgotten truths buried deep within. Mystics across traditions have confirmed this message. Plato spoke of the immortality of the soul and the world of forms that transcends material reality. The Vedas of India teach that the soul is unborn, eternal, and indestructible. Christian mystics have echoed the same, that the soul returns to its source, carrying the lessons of its earthly sojourn. All of these streams converge into the same river, flowing back to the wisdom first revealed in the temples of Egypt, guarded by Thoth, the keeper of eternal records. Now pause and reflect. Have you ever felt a strange déjà vu, as if you had lived a moment before? Have you ever met someone for the first time and yet felt an unexplainable familiarity, as if your souls had crossed paths long ago? These experiences are glimpses through the veil, reminders that your soul story is far greater than this single lifetime. Share your experiences in the comments, for each story carries within it a fragment of the greater truth we are all seeking. But Thoth's message goes even deeper. He teaches that the journey of the soul is not only about survival after death, but about evolution. The soul is refined through lifetimes, tested through challenges, and expanded through knowledge and wisdom. Just as the alchemists sought to turn base metals into gold, so too does the divine process seek to transmute the human soul into something radiant, eternal, and conscious of its divine origin. The trials you face are not punishments, but initiations. Every difficulty hides within it a hidden gift, a chance to grow in strength, compassion, and awareness. Carl Jung once said, "There is no coming to consciousness without pain." The ancient initiates knew this well. They underwent trials in darkness, faced symbolic death, and emerged reborn, carrying a new vision of life and eternity. And here lies Thoth's third message to you. The hardships you face are not meaningless. They are part of your initiation, designed to awaken you to the truth of who you are. Imagine for a moment that your entire life is a sacred school. Each encounter, each challenge, each joy, and each sorrow is a lesson carefully designed for your soul's growth. When you begin to see life this way, everything changes. Instead of resisting, you begin to embrace. Instead of fearing, you begin to trust. Instead of clinging, you begin to release. This shift of perspective is not small. It is the threshold between living as a prisoner of illusions and living as a conscious participant in the great cosmic dance. Thoth's message is clear. Death is not to be feared, for it is only a doorway. Life is not to be wasted, for it is the training ground of eternity. And the soul is not to be forgotten, for it is the eternal traveler, the bearer of wisdom, and the spark of divinity within you. Yet as powerful as this truth is, there is one final revelation that surpasses it. For even knowing that you are eternal is not enough unless you understand the deepest secret of all, the secret that Thoth guarded most carefully, the mystery that holds the power to transform not only your soul, but the entire destiny of humanity. And that is what we will now uncover in the final part of this journey. Thoth's final message is the greatest of all, the one that unites every truth we have explored so far. It is the revelation that within you resides the same divine light that shapes the cosmos, and that awakening to this truth is the ultimate purpose of your existence. Imagine this: the stars above, the laws of harmony that govern the planets, the hidden currents of energy that weave through all life. They are not separate from you. They live within you. You are not a mere observer of the universe. You are the universe experiencing itself through the lens of your soul. This is the secret Thoth guarded most carefully, whispered only to those who had prepared themselves through discipline, purity, and wisdom. It is why he was called the scribe of the gods, the measurer of the heavens, the one who inscribed the eternal law. His teachings were never meant simply to inform, they were designed to awaken. And this awakening culminates in one truth. The divine spark is already within you. Think about this deeply. Every prayer you have ever spoken, every ritual, every search outside yourself was always pointing back to the temple of your own heart. The emerald tablets declare, "Man, ye are of the earth and yet of the light." This light is not something you must earn or acquire. It is who you are. The journey of life, with all its challenges and mysteries, is about remembering what has always been present. Modern mystics and philosophers echo this same truth. Ralph Waldo Emerson once wrote that, "The soul raised over passion beholds identity and eternal causation." The Gnostics spoke of the divine spark hidden within each human, longing to be reunited with its source. Even science, as it pushes into the mysteries of consciousness, begins to hint that mind and matter are not separate, but expressions of a deeper unity. And here lies the final key of Thoth. To realize that your consciousness is not a small flicker in a vast universe, it is the universe itself, awakened in human form. Pause for a moment and let that sink in. If this is true, then what are the limits of your being? If the same light that created stars and galaxies pulses within you, then what becomes of fear, doubt, or limitation? They dissolve. They become illusions, shadows cast upon the wall of your inner temple. The reality is that you are far greater than you have been taught to believe, and Thoth's message today is to remind you of this truth, but there is also responsibility. To awaken to your divine spark is not only to rejoice in your power, but to live in alignment with it. This means living in truth, walking in balance, creating consciously, and honoring the eternal journey of the soul. It means recognizing that every thought, every word, every action ripples through the great web of existence. To awaken is to become a conscious participant in the evolution of life itself. Imagine if humanity as a whole remembered this truth. Wars would end, for how could you harm another if you see them as a reflection of the same light within you? Fear would dissolve, for death would no longer terrify those who know they are eternal. Greed and division would fade, replaced by reverence for the sacred unity of all things. This is the vision Thoth held, the reason his teachings were preserved, the reason they echo across centuries until reaching you today. So I ask you now, are you ready to awaken? Are you ready to see yourself not as a seeker lost in the shadows, but as a bearer of light, a co-creator of reality, an eternal soul walking the path of remembrance? If you are here, if you have listened to this message, then you have already begun. The spark within you has stirred and it will not return to sleep. This is why you were drawn here. This is why Thoth's message has reached you. And now, the choice is yours. You can dismiss it as coincidence, or you can embrace it as destiny. You can return to ordinary life unchanged, or you can step into the truth of who you are, eternal, powerful, luminous, divine. As we close this journey, let me leave you with this promise. The wisdom of Thoth is not a relic of the past. It is alive within you, waiting to be lived. The pyramid is your mind, the temple is your heart, and the emerald tablet is written in the very fabric of your soul. Read it, live it, and you will discover that the greatest secret of all is not hidden in stone, but shining in your own being. So if these words resonate with you, if you feel that fire awakening within, let your journey continue. Subscribe, share, comment, and keep seeking. Because this is not the end, it is the beginning of your awakening. And remember always, Thoth's final message is not outside of you, it is you. Thanks for looking.